Yo, what up, what up? Hold on, I'm gonna turn the camera on. I just gotta find something first. Looking for hell. I'm like, it was right there. I'm going blind. I'm like, uh-oh. All right. So what up, y'all? I know everybody's on a different mission. You know what I'm saying? I know some of y'all like I said, I know how everybody is right now. I know everybody's well, better yet, I don't know. I don't know. Black people could be on a goofy. Excuse me, because with all this critical stuff going on, and for there still to be people out here talking about retrograding and all this different stuff, it kind of drives you crazy. Like, what the hell is wrong with these people? But it doesn't matter. Today I want to talk about, is the word Negro, does the word Negro represent evil? And I can hear people now like, well, why would you say that? Because they had several different words they could have called us. First things first, in Africa, they don't call people Negroes, niggers, niggas, nothing like that. That's not a word that they use, because it wasn't no Spanish people that took over Africa. So it's like they wouldn't even use that word. Now, I have heard a word called kefa or kefer. And I know people are like, well, yeah, I've heard that. I heard that's derogatory. Okay, they say it means non-Muslim. I don't know if that's true, though. And you can look it up, but it really doesn't matter. Hold on. We ain't doing that yet. You can look it up, but it doesn't matter, because it's the way that it tells you is just going to say a non-Muslim. You know what I'm saying? That's all it tells you. It just says, oh, it just means non-Muslim. So my argument to that is, well, why would a white person care? I'm trying to find here we go. I think I found it. I think I did. This is from the movie Dangerous Ground, when the whites, they were like the Nazis of Africa. You know what I'm saying? And they come up on his car, and watch what he says. Or listen.
Che state facendo? Che succede qui?
Niente, stiamo solo andando a Sun City.
Ah sì? E che ci vai a fare con questo sporco cazzo?
No, lui è americano.
It just so happened this is like French version. Damn. And that was the only one that they have on YouTube. Oh, wait, they got another part. They got another part where they use the word. Listen.
The last time I looked, your brother's a grown man. A grown man will get hooked on anything he doesn't want to get hooked on, okay?
Let me tell you something. Till we find Stevie, your business is my business. What the fuck in the car? Get your ass in the car. Hey!
Not so fast. What you doing with this kefir?
Oh, you can fuck off too.
Kefir. Fuck.
Hey, what are you saying, bitch?
Brother, you had a fucked up day. Come on, let's go.
He said, "Kefir lover, kefir fuck."
This one.
Watch what old boy tell. Watch what old boy tell his friend, because his friend wants to rape the girl. Watch what he says.
Maybe we should fuck her. How many times have I told you? We never fuck chicks who fuck Kafirs.
Hey, how many times?
Okay.
3.
Now, why would a white guy who is clearly not Muslim, why would he use a word that refers to a non-Muslim? So that's why I said don't look up the word kafir, because that's all they're going to say is it's a non-Muslim. But that can't be what that word means, because even the white guy, movie or not, they're having the white guys use it as a form of an insult. So white people don't care about no damn Islam. And the racist white dude on that side, not the Ku Klux Klan, the Nazis, they don't give a fuck about that shit, so they wouldn't use it like that. So basically it means nigger. So in Africa, they don't have a word for nigger, because remember, in Latin, the word Negro is supposed to be Niger. Okay, isn't there a Nigeria? Isn't there a Niger River? Okay, so they would never use the word nigger over there, because that's not even what Negro means. It means Niger. That's really what it means. Go look up the Latin version of Negro. It means Niger. So they would never call them Negro, or at least not on the soil. Maybe if some conquistadors took them, they would say that. But they would never use that as an insult on the soil, because they would have kefir. It wouldn't make any sense. Let's get started. So in this video, we're talking about, it's just weird, bro, because it's like there's another word. The Negro thing, it would stand firm, and it would just be a reference to some melanated beings if there wasn't a different word. But since there's a different word, we're gonna have to like get into this shit, bro, because something's not right. So if I'm correct on what we've been talking about so far, the first people to come to America were the Portuguese. Okay. And they called these people in Brazil that they met Negro del Terra. But something's not right about this. Make sure I'm where I'm supposed to be. Give y'all a little more so y'all can see more. All right. So the Portuguese word for black is petro. It can also be used in Palmamento. For example, zapatos pretos means black shoes. in Brazil, the Brazilian Institute of Geography and Statistics, the IBGE, uses the term petra to refer to black as one of 5 colors categorized in the census. The other categories are branca, which is white, parda or prata, which is brown, amarela, which is yellow, and Indanita. I don't know. That's indigenous. Okay. Now, this is where a red flag should come up to everybody. Because if they're indigenous people of the land and they had a name for that, why didn't they just call the Indians that? Okay. Then you have this other word, Prada. Okay, they say these were copper-colored people. Why didn't they call them Prada? All right. You have the I'm gonna let it word itself. That way you'll know exactly how to say it. Look.
Preto.
So Pedro means black. Now here's my thing. They didn't call the Africans they had from New Guinea Pedro. They didn't call them Moreno. So obviously, this is just me putting 2 and 2 together. Obviously, they weren't looking at these Negro del Guineas as some respectable people. That's why they called them Negroes. Okay. The Indians that they met, They called him Negro del Terra. They didn't call him Pedro. They didn't call him Moreno. So we can see why they took over the land and why they did the Indians dirty. Because when they're first meeting them, they're introducing them as a word that is a negative. So I'm saying that like this. This is really what I'm getting to in this video. Is that why they gave us the negativity? Is that why they portrayed us as pimps and hoes and drug dealers and killers? Is that why? Because that is the name that you're taking. It didn't just start with Paleface. He didn't start it. It's Negroes for sale. He didn't say blacks for sale. Like I said, the Spaniards were here first, so he had to use their reference point to talk about what they're selling. That's what I want people to realize. Negroes for sale is only out here. Ain't nowhere else. Because everywhere else, they have their own name for these people. Then they're not going to call them Negroes. That's only because the first people over here are some Spaniards. There's some Spanish-speaking people. But they have different words that mean the same thing. But they mean it in different ways. Pedro is black. Okay, Zapato Pedro. All right, black shoes. You've never heard somebody say Zapato Negro. Like, they don't use that word anymore. But why did they ever use it? Remember, Pedro is a Portuguese word. Not Pedro, you know what I'm saying, like dog. No, Pedro. That's a Portuguese word that means black. We got everybody talking about Negro. They're like, yeah, Negroes are the land, blacks are the land. But it's like, no. Negro is actually a negative. How do we know? Because you've met Hispanics with the last name Moreno. You've met one. Shit. Dan Marino. Dan Moreno. Dan Marino. Dan Moreno. Dan Marino. Dan Moreno. Okay, it's the same thing. I've literally been locked up, and there was a sheriff, last name Moreno, who was a Hispanic dude. I remember when I had a little knowledge, though, I was like waking up. I was, getting out of my last days of thugging. And I was like, that's funny. You guys, like, I'm saying this to myself. I'm like, he had no problem with the last name Moreno, but you've never heard of a Hispanic with the last name Negro. Then Santa Claus, his helper is named Pedro or Petro. That's his name. So we can't say, oh, we've never heard Hispanics use that name before. No, they have. It's just an old name. Portuguese is way different than the Spanish that you guys are used to. The whole Puerto Rican, Cuban, Mexican thing. No. Go listen to a Portuguese talk. Go play Portuguese music in front of the standard Hispanic or Spanish that you're used to hearing. Play that music in front of them. I guarantee you they'll be like, I don't even know what they're saying. I know a couple words, but I don't even know what they're saying. I do it all the time because I happen to love Portuguese music. I do. I don't know why. It's that Brazilian twist, bro. They got a lot of rhythm. They got a lot of soul. Like, you got to listen to them. And we can see why, though, in multiple different ways. Who was already there? And then they say they brought some Del Guineas with them. So it's like, okay, as a melanated American, I've never said that Africans don't have no rhythm. I said our rhythm is different. I never said they don't have no drum. I said our drum beat is different. That's all I'm saying. That's how I know we're not the same people. Our drum kick is not the same. Does the word Negro mean evil? Is that what it means? You know what I'm saying? Because the whole doctrine of discovery, that is going down after the fall of the Moors. Okay, these are melanated people. These are what you would call Negroes. Okay, this is when they ramshack Africa. All right, those Africans is what you would call Negroes. Okay, the Portuguese come to America. They say Negro del Terra. They don't say Pedro del Terra. They don't say Moreno del Terra. It's like, is this when they took over the world? That is what I'm trying to say. Is when they demonize people under this like status. You know what I'm saying? And what do they say? They say Negro means black. Okay, Pero means black. Moreno means dark. But wait a minute. What group was pushed into this name? That was a reference. It's a reference. It's not even a real name. Who was pushed into that? And then how were they pushed into it? It wasn't no. If you listen to Judge Joe Brown, it wasn't no white people. Black people started calling themselves, or the Negro. They said it was closer to slavery, so they started calling themselves black. Okay, now if historically they were wise, because supposedly this all starts with these college kids. This all starts with SNCC and Martin Luther King. So all these college kids, if they're so smart, then why didn't they know that? Oh, they don't teach you that in school. It's kind of like what A1 said. So they would teach Dr. Ben and John Henry Clark, but they would leave everybody else out here dumb. Okay. Let me ask the Pan-Africans a question. Why didn't y'all know about Negro del Terra? Like in 92. Why weren't you guys talking about that? We're not bringing up Ivan Van Sertima. No, because y'all don't even really go with that. Y'all weren't even feeling what he was saying. Y'all was like, nah, we all come from Africa. There was no Christopher Columbus. We was all slaves. That's the only way we've been over here through slavery. Do I vouch for Ivan Van Sertima talking about the Olmec come Africa? No, but he was putting you on a trail of something else. About maybe, just maybe, you know what I'm saying? Because if they can be in Russia, and if they can be in Europe, and if they can be in, ancient Egypt, and if they can be in Samaria, if white people can be all over the place, then why can't you? But who is you? I don't know. Everybody started tagging people along and making them in one group. All I'm saying is, I think Negro does mean evil in the society that we're in today. I think that's what the doctrine of discovery is. I think that's what it is. That's why they labeled people that, so they could take over their land and label them as wicked people. That's how I personally feel, because they have two other words that they could have called these people, but they didn't. And that's to Africa, who got ramshacked, and the Americans, who got ramshacked too. Why would they call them both that? Come on, man. Wake up. Even if they pulled the switcheroo and mix people up and then start labeling people, that ain't got nothing to do with it. How are they able to take over people's land, period? By mixing us with a word that meant dark, evil. Like, that's the type of darkness that they're talking about. They're not talking about skin tone. They weren't even talking about that. Because if they were, they would have labeled us the classy stuff that they label everything else, Moreno and Pedro, but they didn't. They said Negro. And we get all offended like, they talking about us. No, they're not. You're not a fucking Negro. It's a made up fucking descriptive term. It doesn't even mean anything. Just like nigga don't. Nigga don't mean nothing. We be trying to hold on to it, but it's like, wait a minute. If you're not the Negro, then you're not the nigga. You're not the nigger. You're not none of those. Because they're all descriptive language. It has nothing to do with who we really are. It's deep, yo. It's deep. I just wanted to share something with y'all to open your minds to something. Like, yo, bro, I think they labeled us. They put a label on us, bro. And the only people that are like trying to like side with us and say, call us nigga and all that, is the low cognitive people. Only the low cognitive people want to run around and call us niggas. Only our low cognitive selves run around calling ourselves niggas. And then on the political scene, what do? Nothing for the black people. Nothing for the people in the darkness. They don't do nothing for them. Like if it's a spell, like if it's just automatic. Why do the people that mainly get the ears of black people do them the worst? Sell them up shit's creek over and over, decade and decade and decade. Why is that? All I'm saying is peep the fouls, man. Peep this language game, bro. And ask yourself a question. Why did the two nations that they took over that had the most resources, why did they label them this particular description when it has two other ways of saying it? Why did they take that one? Why did they take the lowest one? Because now, like I said, you have to wake up at the spell. You got to look at it different. We're not Negroes. We're not niggas. We're not niggers. We're not black. We're not none of that. We're not. That's how you take a nation away from a person. That's how you make them nationless, by just giving them a descriptive language. Just a descriptive term. That's it. Negro is nigger, is nigger, is black. It's the same thing. And all of it ain't us. It never was. But the spell casting is out there. Hollywood, we're all saying they're locked in. It's like we can clearly see why they had no problem with NWA. That's why they had no problem with it. That's why they pushed that shit. Bitches ain't shit but hoes and tricks. It's like there was a time where you couldn't hear nothing but gangster rap. Conscious rap came in a little bit in the 80s, fell due to gangster rap, came back for a smidgen. Came back just for a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And even that shit was convoluted anyway, because it's like people will say Wu-Tang is for the kids. ODB was on welfare, bro. Dropping platinum albums on welfare, still getting food stamps. Wearing his hair all ignorant, talking all ignorant, yelling on the mic. How is that for the kids? Ray and Ghost is drug dealers. Straight up. Shit, even on the Only Built for Cuban Links, they was getting high. They was sniffing coke. It's like, how is this for the kids? You got, RZA, the Resurrector and all that, but it's like, all that knowledge born stuff, we already found out what that really is. So it's like, how did it really help? Not saying there's no jewels in it. I just don't believe you can reach the jewels as an adolescent. I don't think the knowledge really hits until you have experience. That's because it's grown people who wrote the books anyway. But what knowledge did you have? Common sense? Okay, very weak looking knowledge. Andre 3000, very weak looking knowledge. Jay Electronica, yeah, and then he turned around and, start kicking that Islam stuff. It's like, bro, we already know where that's going to lead to. You can't use anything that didn't work. So even if you want to believe in God or Allah, that's fine, but you can't use it the way that they've been using it. You can't do the suit and tie classroom stuff. No, you need to start deciphering what they were saying if you're going to use that. But I say we don't even need that. We've been already connected through the 50,000 patents and all the hidden wonders that the American Indians did that they're not talking about, just like the 50,000 patents. Okay, why would they be hiding these two groups? Why are these two groups known as this Negro? Even though we see that the word for brown is Prada. They're copper colored. Why wouldn't they say they met some Prada people? Why they say Negro del Terra? Why not Prada del Terra? Browns of the land, if they were copper colored. Like, why did they use that particular word? I'm saying because they ramshacked both of those kingdoms. Both of those kingdoms got ramshacked. And that's a jewel for the Hebrews if they want to take that. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't believe in your book. But you talk about your North and Southern Kingdom, that would be America and Africa. Just on a worldly scale, as far as nutrients and power and like agriculture, it would be them too. Facts. But let's stay with the reality. Why they call both of these groups Negroes and take both of their shit? And Negro is a descriptive language that really doesn't mean anything. Just like nigger, just like nigga. It doesn't mean anything because it's not really you. You're using it to refer to you, but that's not you though. Because even the story doesn't make any sense. They told you these were some Mongolians over here. Okay, Genghis Khan has been around before any conquistador conquest. So they know who they are. They know who the Mongoloids is. They know who Attila the Hun and all. So you telling me that the Spaniards didn't know who the Romans was? So they knew who the Romans was. You telling me that the Spaniards didn't know who the Africans was? So they knew who the Africans was. So you mean to tell me they didn't know who the Mongoloids was when the Mongoloids had rulership on Earth? They had rulership on Earth before the adventure across the world, to the new world. They're in the old world. So you telling me people from the old world don't know about the people that used to rule around territories, certain areas? They would know where they couldn't go. You know what I'm saying? They'd be outnumbered, outnived. So the conquistadors darn sure knew who Mongolians were. Who told us that the Mongolians came over here? The white boy. That's who told you that. The Mr. Bone Collector. Mr. I got the wonder juice. Let me just take some of your DNA and then I'll tell you who you are. Even though I already told you who you were before we even had the DNA test. I told you were from Africa. The these Native Americans have been here on these reservations way before the DNA test. Now they're telling us they had their DNA. How and why? Why would you need to test them? If this is you've already regulated them to a reservation. Why would you need theirs? Because I gotta create this game. I gotta play this, whatever that guy's name is that everybody always talks about. It's a black scientist. I forgot. But everybody uses him when it comes to African DNA, and he's only got like 1% DNA. He's like already admitted it. He only has like 1-2%. Okay. Africa's a big place. They're like, oh, well, they only took you from the West. Wait, I thought some of y'all came from Egypt also. I thought they were in the slave trade. That's what people keep saying. I thought there's like 2 other ones that weren't. There's like 10 different tribes that were involved. But 90% of y'all are from Ghana for some reason. Every time, you talk to these people, oh, I'm Ghana. Ghana wants to apologize. Ghana wants to accept you back. Y'all don't get no loans. Y'all don't get no dual citizenship. Y'all don't get no businesses. Y'all don't get nothing. But y'all both from Africa, supposedly. And you are in the bigger league of financials, on the world scale as a group. These black Americans, they make more than a lot of people. Like, they could rule their own nation if they knew what they were doing. Why is that? If y'all both Negroes. Because the game didn't change. While we're on this mission trying to get back the land, everybody's trying to ramshack and take it over. And that's what we're not realizing. We're waking up, but it's at the end of the story. So now we're in another dilemma. You got people wanting to vote for Kamala Harris, not wanting to vote for Kamala Harris. Some people think they're going to hustle the Indian thing, but it's like, you guys are claiming that she's not black, but she's a dot, but you claiming to be a feather. So they're going to take that Indian word, they're going to twist and twangle it, and it's like, y'all going to be lost on that mission. I'm getting back with this Negro thing. See, I knew I had already checkmated this whole situation from the jump. That's why nobody wants to deal with the information I keep bringing up. It's already been answered. If you think we're from Africa, well, the answer's already there from the Portuguese. They already told you they met some Negroes. Okay, but why we gotta be from Africa, and why wouldn't they have been said that? Everybody would have been said the American Indians were Africans from Africa. No, they said it's Mongoloids, but the Portuguese was there. They didn't say no Mongoloids. They said some Negroes, but they could have called them Pero. They could have called them Moreno. Nah. Why would they do that if they just defeated the Moors? See, this is the part of history they don't want to talk about. They keep talking about these white people came from England with these boats and shit. Dog, the Moors had just failed. So anything in rulership they would have had, it would have been them on top. So I'm not saying, oh yeah, just all white people slave. No. What I am saying is they're not being honest with what happened. It's like there's no way that the white dude just came over here. There isn't. He had to either be guided or somebody told him. And I've been said it. That shit starts with Christopher Columbus, Moor navigator, Ninos. That dude, that's the one who brought Columbus even over here. And that's how the Portuguese came after him, because it's like, how would they know how to get over here? He's supposedly lost. He thinks he's in Hindustan. Why is that even there? Because he was navigating. It was the Moor. The Moor is the one who snitched and dropped the dime and brought his monkey ass over here. So all them war stories you hear about him chopping off noses and doing all types of sick shit, that's thanks to the Moor. They can't deny it. They're the navigator. So, for them not to drop, tell us, what I'm saying, yo, these motherfuckers about to come back over here tripping, what I'm saying, get your guns ready, get your swords, get your arrows. Like, yo, it's about to be a full-blown war. We done lost. We already lost on the east. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm with this pale-faced motherfucker right now. People say Christopher Columbus didn't exist. Well, let's just say he does. Let's just use it like that. It's the Moor who brings him over here. Because he lost. Why? Because he's not navigating. He's not driving. Period. Like, that's case closed. Motherfucker, they told you he thought he was in India. He's lost. Why would he do that? Because he's not driving. He's not lost at all. The Moors have failed. So Ninos is bringing him to their hidden land. That's what they claim. America's their hidden land. No, it's not. They just knew some cool ass people over here. And they kind of looked similar to us. So we was cool with them. You know what I'm saying? Okay, motherfucker, yeah, all right, you can kick it. But we didn't know they was going to come over here and just like fuck up the game and have shit all twisted. Nah. That's why the Moors claim they had been over here, but they don't have no old language. Only language they talk about is New Mexican, and everything is referring back to Spanish or Latin. Why? Because they know those first people over here. See, your lie can only go so far. You're going to have to deal with the language. What language are you talking? Is Arabic or Spanish? That's these original Moors. Because they kicked out all the Islamic followers. That's how the Moors fell. That's what they say in history. They kicked out all the Islamic followers. You don't know about no Arabs in America. You ain't never in your life heard about no Arabians first in America. No. But for some reason, you've heard about these Moors. And for some reason, the Ku Klux Klan knows about Islam before the NOIs. Before the NOIs even come out, they already got this Islam shit. Why? See, I'm showing you how it's connected. They did this shit. They set this shit up. This Kamala Harris shit is a part of Agenda 21. This shit been in the making. They knew he was going to wake up. Eventually, this shit was going to hit. Like, oh, we African, but a lot of us weren't feeling that shiki stuff for some reason. We were just like, something ain't right, bro. It's like the way they dance, the way they move, the way they look. I want to tell y'all some truth, man. We all from West Africa, right? Let me ask you a question. Why are people in the Congo so bald-headed? And why are people that grew up in the Sahara so fully haired? Because you can call it God or you can call it nature. Nature has a common sense to how it works. Why the hell would I put a person in the jungle with all his hair? You get caught up in the bushes and shit like that. That doesn't make any sense. Even in the military, that's why we shave their heads. That way your enemy can't grab you by your hair and slit your throat. So why would nature put a being that's going to have to go through the jungles? You know what I'm saying? Why would it put it with all this hair? That's why them Congo cats that grow up in that jungle type area, that's why they all bald headed. Ain't no damn curse. No, it's nature. Now, once again, why are them people in the Sahara so fully locked? You ever see some original like fucking Ethiopians and shit? Dog, that shit is like dripping. Like it is beautiful. Hot than a motherfucker out there. What's going to save your head? What's going to stop that sand from blowing all in your ears? Like I said, you can call it God, or you can call it nature, but it's designed. So when you see us, honestly, and you put us side by side to a continental African, there is no way in hell that you're going to say that we're the same people. And even if you take a dark-skinned brother, I do it all the time. I'll be looking, I'm like, bro, you can clearly see the difference. You can see that y'all got something else in you. It's the white man. Man, we all seen Alicia Keys. We all know what Chris Brown and them look like. Like, we know. It's that Indian that they've been hiding for the longest. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, some of us do got the, the African mix. Of course, they made people integrate with each other. Like, real talk. But the older we are in America and the more foreigners we get in, the more of the difference you see. The more of it you really can see. They can't hide no more. It's like even through like the cultural habits, the way they're not standoffish, but like they look at us like we invisible too. It's like, only one want to talk to you is the one that want to hustle you. The little African dealer man, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, fight about that. It's the only one want to talk to you. Other than that, even in the store, they don't do the common greeting, like nothing. Cause that ain't you. The whole head nod thing, brother, that's not some street gang thing. That came from like really like behind enemy lines. That's like acknowledgement. Like, are you here? You here with me, brother? You know what I'm saying? Like it could go down at any moment. Like that's where that really came from. It's an interconnection. You know what I'm saying? Well, that started out here. So I'm saying all that to end it like this. When you let them call you a Negro, you have to remember what box they put you in. Okay, well, when you historically look back to the Brazilian Indian, they called them Negroes. So why am I arguing about some Mongoloid and some Bering Strait? That's some goofy story, bro. Yeah, like, who cares? You talking about how you really brought the slaves in, the white guy version through the Arctic Circle? Yeah, okay, that's fine. But the Caribbean slave trade, we been knew about. We been knew they shipped these people up. That's why it's all coming to the South. The Quakers and stuff start all the way in the East. Not the Mayflower. They start all the way in the East. Or no, was it? Because I thought it was the Pinta de San Maria. The Mayflower, that's the white boy. But what I'm saying is Massachusetts is the first state. So, okay, this is their whole Thanksgiving thing. Okay, that's white guy. All right. Conquistador been around. So they had to push him down out the Alamo. Okay, so you got all this right here. Florida, all this different stuff. The Creole, the French is down there. All this different stuff. It was all going on before the Revolutionary War. Been going on. So how is the white guy using this word talking about Negroes for sale? And that's y'all. But the conquistador then Ben said Negro del Terra in the 1500s down in Brazil. So it's like, what are we saying? Like, do I need a slave trade? Do I really need a slave trade at all to prove that Negroes have been on this land? No, I don't. It's a good reference point. The white guy, somebody got Negroes to sell. Okay, well, the conquistador in the 1500s is saying Negro del Terra. It should be a checkmate from there. We shouldn't have to keep, historically dancing around. But I guess the reason is because, like I said, there's a fucking curse or like a spell on this word, the way that they've used it, because now Negro they're taking it as it means nigger, or it means nigga, or it means black, and it's like, no, it don't. It's just a reference point that's proving that these people that you're calling this have always been here. That's what we're saying. We're not talking about all you new groups, because the conquistadors are the ones speaking Spanish. Okay, we weren't speaking Spanish, so there's no Spanish over here. Okay. The pale face is speaking the old English. Okay, there was no old English to the sense of what we're calling it. No, there wasn't. But there are a bunch of different words in modern English that come from different languages that you could refer it to the original American Indians. You could refer it to German. You could refer it to a lot of different things. So it's like, when you say it in that sense, and you hear people talk about pidgin language, and they're like, oh, the English that we're talking now is from America. Motherfuckers is arguing with you, and it's like, no, bro, they're serious. It's true. This is not old English, bro. This is a modern English. So when you think about Swanto being able to talk to the English dude, and the English dude being able to talk to Swanto, how did they make that happen? Through pidgin language. So some words have to be similar. 26 of the American states are named by Indians. Kentucky is not a white person's name. Minnesota is not a white person's name. Mississippi is not a white person's name. Massachusetts is not a white person's name. Like, I can keep going, bro. There's 26 of them. 26 of these states are named by Indians. So when you, Connecticut, another one, it's like, bro, when you really get into this, you're going to realize something. The only ones that are like really responsible for all the wonders that are on this side are the Negro, because that's the first person that was met on the turf. I'm not talking about these little islands. No, bro, on the turf. On the turf. It's one continent, regardless of what anybody wants to say. It doesn't matter about the Darien Gap. Motherfucker, you're talking about a car. I could ride a boat and literally see that the land's still connected. I could fly a plane over all these fucking trees, nigga. A helicopter. I could fly over the Darien Gate, nigga. The fuck are you talking about? I can clearly see the land is connected. What are you talking about? Bro, it's one continent. They're lying because they're like, oh. Like, I remember somebody argue, well, Africa is connected to Europe. So that's one continent too. But it's like, you're missing the point. This is one continent by itself. All of you busters are together. You're clumped up, fucking little hodgepodge dramas. No, all this land is by itself. All old blood by itself. And it has the most pyramids. And the first people that was met on the turf was some Negro. I mean, what do you want from me? Like, what do you want from me? You want me to really take the white dude's story? When he's bogus, he's fugazi, he has to come up with some Ghostbuster fucking Jurassic Park test. It's like he's putting bones together. He doesn't know what the hell that is. He really doesn't. He's making up stuff that ain't nobody can credit was ever here. The Brontosaurus, the Tyrannosaurus, the fucking Triceratops. He can't claim none of this shit. He really can't, bro. Oh, look, all the bones together. First of all, he never had no bones. He only had fossils. Oh, well, see, that means, how you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that other things wasn't dropped in position of certain things? Or, like I said, how do you know he's putting together things like, how do you put skin on bones? Like, how do you do that, bro? How do you put skin on bones? Like, peep that one out. Like, oh, from his facial structure, from the fucking skull, I can put all his fucking cheekbones and everything. I can know if his cheeks were fat, if they were small, if he had big lips, if he had little lips. I know everything because I have some bones. See? Okay. Look, same thing with this Negro word. Okay, the Negro League, the colored water fountain. All right, they turned Indians into colors, and mulattoes and colors. Okay, everybody knows that. Okay, but hold up. No, let's just go back to the Negro League. Let's go to the Negro boxers of the 1900s. We know what the word Negro refers to because we're in the corporation known as the United States of America. We know who the Negro is. Okay, go all the way back to the 1500s. Brazil. Negro del Terra. Oh, that's a checkmate. This is case closed. Like, this is case closed business. But why can't people see it and use it? Because remember, like I said, does the word Negro mean evil? Is that what it means? Like, is that how everybody looks at it? It's supposed to be dark, spooky, scary and shit. Because they could have called us Moreno, but they don't. They could have called us Pedro, but they don't. remember, one more time before we go. Remember that Pero word is not anybody else's but the Portuguese. And the Portuguese are the first ones to come here. The rock. Remember, I'm talking about the land. They're the first ones to get here. They're the first ones to get here, and they could have called us
preto,
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 preto.
preto,
Now, look, they even tell you the adjective for preto is black, negro, sable, ebony. It's like, but look, keep going, because it could be sambro or sambro, which means dingy, somber, dark, gloomy, shadow, black. Okay. Now, negro by itself just means black. But petro means black, negro, sable, ebony. Okay, so see, when you say the word ebony, it's not disrespectful.
preto,
That's not disrespectful. You know what I'm saying? When you say sable, that's not disrespectful. So they put negro and black in front, but it's like, I don't even believe those are really there, because negro by itself means black. So why would I need petro to mean black and negro? No, it means sable and ebony. That's what it means, because it's a cleaner way of saying something. And that's my argument. Why did they say that about the people here and the slaves they had in the boat, the Negro del Guinea? You know what I'm saying? They're not dissing Guinea. No, they saying what they brought with them. So if they slaves and they not calling them ebony or sable or petro, if they're not calling them that and they calling them negro, which means black, okay, why did they say that about us? That's what I mean. That's what I mean. That's what happened to us. It's like some people came over here and they played us dirty, because, not saying because of Africans, because like I told you, they called it Guinea. They know where they got them from. They just called them that particular name, because that means that, like, they don't like you. You know what I'm saying? It's a lower level of calling you something. That's what I'm saying. Like, they don't have to say Negro. They could say Moreno. They really could. It's supposed to be the same thing, but one's just more of a classier name. How did I prove that? Because I told you I've met Hispanic people with that last name. You've never met a Hispanic named Carlos Negro. You know what I'm saying? Emmanuel Negro. Like, you never met that, but you could meet a Carlos Moreno. You might meet one of those in your life. You know what I'm saying? It's deep when you peep in languages and stuff like that, but we just holding down the crown that, dog, this is ours. It's ours. It always was. It always will be. But y'all got to peep the game, though. Like I said, that whole Kamala Harris trip, call her a Hindu. You know what I'm saying? Say she's not black, but call her a Hindu. You know what I mean? That way, at least the playing field is still there. Because if we don't and we let it just wash away, they gonna think we talking about that, and you know we not talking about that. Yo, it's been good, man. Go.